halfway through Prime Minister Narendra Modi's term. So if you could, what according to you are his 3 hits and his 3 misses?
Well, I would say that, in my field of foreign policy, Mr. Modi has actually brought a lot of personal energy, dynamism and tireless travel, which I think is a good thing, because whoever the Prime Minister of India is, if he's able to be a sort of travelling salesman for the country, that's good for all of us in the country, and that, to my mind, he has to be applauded for. Whether or not you agree with his own politics, that energy cannot be disputed, and that tirelessness and that willingness to travel, extend himself, that can't be disputed. Secondly, when it comes to articulating a vision for the future of the country, I genuinely believe he has struck all the right notes. That is, he's mentioned the need for cleanliness, Swachh Bharat. He's mentioned the need for technology, Digital India, Startup India. He's mentioned the need for manufacturing, Make in India. He's mentioned the importance of girl children's education, Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao. He's talked about a lot of things which, very frankly, others have talked about in the past. All of these were issues that the UPA government was equally committed to, but he has had a gift for capturing the essence, putting a good slogan or a phrase on it and selling it. So that would be the second big hit. On the third big hit, frankly, can only say that he has not personally said anything that can be held against him. In 2.5 years, unlike, say, the 2.5 years before that when he was in the campaign mode, Mr. Modi has been responsible and even statesmanlike in the words he has said. We can blame him, and I do blame him, and I have written in the Quint and blamed him for his silences, for not speaking out when certain unpleasant things were done by his followers or said by his followers. Ranging from all this Ghar Wapsi and this Bharat Mata Ki Jai controversy and the whole Gaur Rakshak business, the death of Mohammad Akhlaq, earlier the death of young Mushtaq in Pune, the skinning and flogging of the Dalits. There have been a number of incidents where the Prime Minister of India could have applied the healing touch that comes from being the leader of the country, and he missed those opportunities, we assume deliberately, because he didn't have the heart to say anything negative to his own followers. And there I can reproach him, and I have reproached him. So the 3 misses that I would point to, number 1 has been the extraordinary gap between articulation and implementation. So he's painted this very compelling vision. So we have not been able to see any of it happening on the ground. There is practically no Make in India. Half the companies that have announced Make in India projects, like the Foxconn, which announced a $3 billion investment, not one paise has come, not one foundation pillar has been driven into the ground, let alone creating a factory that will employ Indians. So jobs have not followed. So my worry is that a lot of these slogans have remained slogans. They have not been matched by implementation. Secondly, the counterpart of the slogans is that when he has been silent, as I said, we have had every good reason to reproach him. Even if he has been restrained, his victory has empowered and freed large numbers of people in his establishment, in his political party and in the fellow travelers of that party to say and do most alarming, negative, divisive things in our politics. And then the third would be that even if he has been tirelessly running around the world, the tangible benefits for India are yet to be seen, and that we have frankly seen very confused handling of the Pakistan situation, right up to and until the so-called surgical strikes, which really aren't strikes at all but cross-border operations. Until those happened, one was totally bewildered as to what the government's policy was, because it had more ups and downs than a child's yo-yo. It went from extreme friendship to extreme hostility practically overnight and back again. And many of us kept saying to the PM, can you please articulate what your vision is? Because even your own supporters are confused as to what they're supposed to think about Pakistan.